Hi, welcome back to Deeper, and it's an absolute privilege to be of service to you. And this particular exercise is very meaningful to me because I had the privilege of experiencing it. I've changed it up just a little bit, but I was at a contemplative retreat a couple of years ago, and we spent about 2 hours doing this particular exercise. Now, I do want to say we started with 45 minutes of silent meditative prayer to really prepare our hearts. So I'm going to make an abbreviated suggestion, and I think we took maybe a full hour to do the whole exercise. So I'm going to give you some ideas, but the idea here is you want to spend at least 45 minutes on this. So if you don't have that amount of time right now, I'd say stop this and come back when you do. You also want to come to this exercise maybe right after you've done your morning devotions, when you're chilled and when you're essentially settled. Now, one of the key things in advance of this is, if you're ready to move forward, is make sure you have a journal with you or a piece of paper. I don't think it's probably good to be typing on the computer. I think it's sometimes better to handwrite things. So I want you to go grab some paper or a journal. And the first thing is we want to set an intention. We're asking God for a vision. And again, this particular part of Deeper has come after you've spent a month reflecting on what really energized you, what drained you, and what did you learn about God and or yourself. And you worked through that and you've thought about it. So maybe you want to go back and review that. Now, once you're ready to start, here's what I want you to focus on. I want you to go back and remember your calling. When you actually recognize that God was calling you, and I want you to remember what it felt like that when you surrendered and said, yes, I'm all in to God. So remember that. Again, that's going to be a time of gratitude. There's going to be lots of emotions, but get locked in those positive emotions that you felt when you said yes to God and you felt really good about it. And then what I'd like you to do is spend 5 to 10 minutes. If you have more, maybe go 15 or 20, but take an extended time right now of centering prayer, having worked off that intention of what it felt like when you said, I'm all into God. So get a timer and prepare yourself for this exercise with at least 5 minutes of centering prayer. If you have a little bit more time, maybe go up to 15 or even 20 minutes. And when you finish and when you come back to centering prayer, restart this video. And I'll see you in a minute. All right, welcome back. Now, the first thing I want you to think about is, again, practice some gratitude here. And ask yourself this, now that you've sat in silence, what is the unique contribution that God desires to manifest through my life? Think about that. Who is my mission? How am I called to shine like a star, like Philippians 2 says? And what you're looking for here is to start writing. What's my unique contribution that God desires for me to manifest through my life? Who is my mission? How am I called to shine like a star? Capture images, gut feelings, visions, sounds, and dreams. And for this part of the exercise, give yourself about 3 minutes just to write. Now, write as fast as you can. Don't overthink. So set your timer for 3 minutes, and we're going to keep using that time. What's the unique contribution that God desires for me to manifest through my life? Who is my mission? How am I called to shine like a star? Again, you're looking for images, gut feelings, visions, sounds, dreams. All right, welcome back. And what I'd like you to do immediately is to go to 3 more minutes in silent meditative prayer. So set that timer for 3 minutes, and when it goes off, come back and I'll have the next question for you. All right, welcome back. The question 2 is this. You got some ideas from question 1. Now, ask yourself this: who do I need to become, or what do I need to do to live out this vision? Who or what do I need to become to live out this vision? So imagine yourself actually living out your vision. How are you going to have to change? Who are you going to have to become? And don't be afraid of that. See yourself as that person that's living out this vision that God's given you. Again, 3 minutes, capture everything that comes in. Now do 3 more minutes of centering prayer and continue to settle and recenter, and then start this back up after your 3 minutes of centering prayer. All right, welcome back. Now I want you to cultivate gratitude right now. It's important to come to visions, even if they're big visions, not from scarcity, but from abundance. Jesus had this interesting saying. He said, "He who has will be given more. He who doesn't have, even what he or she has, will be taken from them and given to someone else." And that, I think, like, what's Jesus talking about? What Jesus is talking about is being grateful for what you have. So I want you to spend the next 3 minutes, and I want you to write down all of the resources that you presently have. Those are both gifts and talents that you have, and also gifts and talents of the people that are around you within your community that are already present, that serve the vision, even if it's only little tiny pieces. But what resources do you have that serves the vision, that can help you move forward? And restart this after your 3 minutes of writing. All right, welcome back again, and let's do 3 more minutes of centering prayer. Just sit with this feeling. This is exciting. God's given you some new ideas. All right, previously we captured some resources. Now, this is important. When we're building a new vision, we want to recognize resources and recognize how we need to grow. But also now I want us to spend 3 minutes reflecting, what is it that no longer is serving me, that I need to let go of in order to live out this vision? You might want to ask yourself, what am I tolerating right now? Where are your self-imposed chains? What's no longer serving you that you need to let go? Sit with that for 3 minutes and write and capture that and restart the video. All right, let's do 3 more minutes of centering prayer. There's 2 more steps in this, so stick with this. And again, if you get stuck on one of the questions, you can reboot and do 3 more minutes of these, and maybe even spend a little extra time. But let's do 3 minutes of centering prayer, and then we'll go to the last question, or second to last question. All right, welcome back. Ponder 3 minutes on this one and just sit with this. This is an easy question, but let it sit with it and feel it. Am I willing to let God do this new work through me? Are you willing? And there's a difference between being willing, which is an open-handed surrender, and being willful, that by hook or by crook, I'm going to do this. I'm going to run through a brick wall. Am I willing to let God manifest and do this new work through me? So try to surrender into that and capture what that feels like. Try to write a yes if you can mean yes, and if you just don't feel it, sit with that and notice why it is. What would it take? Am I willing, not willful, willing to let God do this new work through me? All right, this is the final time. 3 more minutes of centering prayer. All right. Last question. Welcome back. What's the next step to move toward that vision? It's something you can do right now. I mean, it can literally be anything. Maybe you need to go home and clean out your sock drawer. I don't know. What's the next step? What's the first step that's going to create a chain reaction that's going to let you start walking toward this new vision that God has for your life? What's that first step? Write about it. 3 minutes. All right, welcome back. And I hope this was helpful. I'd love to hear what you came up with. We can talk about it in the next meeting of Deeper. Again, I invite you to share this with people that you serve. And create some space. It's good to create a container for this. So create a celebration around it. Get people in a place where they are really settled. If this didn't land for you the first time, I would suggest spending a little bit more time, and instead of using 3 minutes of centering prayer, maybe get a second timer, or maybe just simply don't set a timer for when you're doing the journaling part, but sit with it for a while and then do maybe 5 minutes of centering prayer in between, just to settle, because this is about opening ourselves up. It's about consenting to God's presence with us during the journey. Again, I'm grateful for you. I'm praying for your vision. I was trying to say little prayers even while I was creating this video. It's an absolute privilege to serve you, and if I can be of any help, just reach out to me, Brian at brianrussellphd.com. Be helpful, glad to help you. Until I see you next time, live by faith, be known by love, and be a voice of hope to others.